I don't know if it's good morning, good evening, wherever you are. So today I'm gonna talk about Common App, which is basically kind of like WISPs, but like a website where you're able to apply for um schools or admissions in the United States. It's basically for undergraduates. Yes. And just my name is Belinta, as Nelson has said. Uh, I come from Kenya, the western part of Kenya, and I went through high school in Kenya and applied to after Form 4, I applied to many schools in the United States, outside the United States, in South Africa, in India, which other country, in Canada. And then I got scholarships. Some of them I got rejected. Some of them I got partial scholarships. But at the end of the day, I decided to go with Temple University, which is here in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, in the United States, majoring in chemistry. Yeah, hopefully becoming a doctor, maybe. So today I'm going to talk about Common App, basically just creating Common App account, Common App basic, and then how to find a school. Can you make themselves? Okay, thank you. So I'm gonna just basically summarize on how to create a Common App account, how to write a Common App essay, and then how to find a school. So so before you create a Common App, obviously they're going to ask you, you need an email account. So basically, I think I can send that. I think I did already send the documents to you guys, but yeah, basically you need to have an email account and make sure that your username is something that makes sense. Like, do not put a username that is not your name, or like it's just, I don't know. Yeah, just put something that is kind of official, and also make sure your password is something that you can remember. And then, as I said, Common App is basically, it's like CUSPs, but now for the United States, where you're able to apply to schools in the United States. You go through their profile, answer questions. It's not, you have to basically like write why you want that school, and why you want the program you're applying to, if you need any help with financial aid, and all that. So basically it's just a website um where you do all that, and it has so many questions. But so there's one question that people always ask: if you've just cleared Form 4 and you've not joined university, or you're currently in university but you want to like literally start afresh, you can apply you can apply as a first year student. So yeah, don't worry about the year, but yeah, you can apply as a first year student. That way you get access to funding or scholarships for first year students. There's so many of them. And then yeah, the others who apply for transfer, if you want to transfer, but I wouldn't advise that, because it doesn't have as much funding as the first year students. But if you're applying for your second degree or third degree, yeah, that's basically applying first year students. And yeah, so it depends on what year you want. So I think most of these questions is something like you can look at and answer, but if it's complicated, you can definitely ask. So when you create a Common App account, and then they will open, you will be able to like this is how basically the account looks like. And then there is that these kind of questions about your profile, basically who you are, your family, your education, your testing. So testing is like, what exams have you taken? If you've taken SAT exams, which is standard assessment tests, that's well and good. But right now it's optional. I mean, it's good if you have taken the test and you have high scores, but if you don't have it, it's also okay, because it's not required, it's optional. Also under testing is the KCC exam, where you now put your KCC grades. And then under activities is basically what you've been doing. So they'll ask you, what have you been doing besides schooling? What else do you do? Do you play netball? Do you help in your community? Are you in any leadership program? Or like, do you volunteer anywhere in a hospital or just in a bank, anywhere? So that falls under activities. And then we have the writing part where we have now the essays and all that. So yeah, make sure you fill up all these parts, and then you can always ask if you have any problem. So when it comes to the people always ask about like paying for the admission for the application process. So so you can always, there's this common app fee waiver. It's on the website. I think on the common app website down there, there's always the common app fee waiver where you can just say you meet one of the requirements. I mean, you later met because your family and your income basically, according to the US, is below. So you can just say yes, and then you'll be good. You do not have to pay anything for your application. And now when it comes to essays, so they have is it eight essay prompts. There are different questions where you have to select one of them and like write a detailed description, a detailed essay. So it's not like a composition or an it's not a composition, it's not an imaginative writing. It's like you writing about yourself. And it's this is where like the admission officer is able to see who you are before even seeing you. So the essay basically has to tell the admission officers who you are. So don't write about other people, like, or something that happened to other people. You have to write something about yourself. So and then also when answering these questions, when you have to be keen when choosing the prompt you're answering, because you have to make sure that you're answering the prompt. You're not answering what you think the prompt is asking. So you have to read, I'll advise like you read through all the questions, like think about them, and you can decide to pick one and go with it, or you can decide to at least write a draft on each of the questions and see which one you can write a good essay, like about 500 to 650 words. Just make sure that it is a good essay, and because that's before they look at your grades, before they look at anything else, they look at your essay. If they like they if your essay is not good, they're not going to go to the next step. So that's why I always advise, look at your essay, write your essay, edit it, send it to someone to look at it, go through it again. Don't get tired of writing and rewriting that essay, because that is the first thing. And if your essay is really good, no matter what, like if your essay is good and it shows that you are really fit for the university, you're good to go. They will give you that scholarship, they'll get you that interview within no time. So this is a big thing, that your essay and your list of activities, that's the one thing that will get you going. Yeah. So and then now finding a school. So the other process is just like you filling in your profile, like, okay, for example, like Facebook, you're putting up your profile, but now how do you add friends? No, now here is like, how do you find a school? Because once you have your profile up, that's not it. You have to now find schools, and you're not applying to you're not just adding all schools, because Common App has a limit of up to 20 schools. So you're not going to waste your chances applying to just any school. You have to do your research.
Ok, si foda-se. Já foi a mão. Sim, isso deve a US PQ.
So so you have to like do your research, Google, like the first thing you have to do is like Google schools based on the program you want to study. That is if you already know what you want to study. It's easier that way. But if not, you can just like start with I don't know. For me, I go with like the program you want to study because you want to go to a school that offers the program you want to study. So for example, most people always ask for nursing. So you'll Google schools that are offering nursing, and then it will give you a long list of schools. So basically this requires time sitting down and doing all this. It will give you a long list of schools. Then you go to each of the schools that you're looking at. Like for example, maybe the first option is University of Pennsylvania. And then so you now open another window on Google and look, check is University of Pennsylvania need blind or need best? So if a school is need best, it means they will accept you if they know you are in a good financial position to pay the tuition. But if the school is need blind, it means they do not consider your ability to pay school fees. So a need blind school is really good because if you are like your academics are good, your essay is good, and your activities match the school, they're going to accept you regardless of whether you're poor or rich. And then that's when they will give you the scholarship because once you've been accepted, they're going to cater for everything. The one thing about the need-blind schools is that they have a very low acceptance rate. It's like the big schools, the stuff like Yale University, Brown University, Stanford, MIT, Lafayette College. They're good schools, but the acceptance rate is like less than 9%. So, like, these are good schools to think about. Like, don't have all your 20 schools to be need blind because, you never know. The acceptance rate is really low and it's just like by luck. So you can have like 2 to 3 schools that are need blind whose acceptance rate is that low and put it. But when it comes to these need-based schools, they are need-based, and then they always have like they will ask you if you are planning on applying for financial need or like merit-based scholarship. So they have scholarships. Almost all of them have scholarships. So once you see a school that is okay, once you have a blind school and you think that this is a school that is fit for me, I can apply to this, you can go ahead and add it on your list. Then you go back to the need-based schools. If you find a need-based school, you research into it and see, does the school offer scholarships to international students? Because a school can be offering scholarships. It can be saying that, yeah, they offer over 100,000 scholarships, but they offer to US citizens. So you have to Google and check, does that university? So let's say we started with University of Pennsylvania, we went down, we found out that it's need best. So we are going back and checking, does University of Pennsylvania offer scholarships to international students? And then it will show you if it's offering, like, it will basically tell you if it's offering scholarships to international students, and there are certain scholarships. So it's not just like once you apply, you've already applied to the scholarship. So for example, Simon's University offers scholarships to international students, but it has like the specific, it's called courtesan scholarship. So you now go into courtesan scholarship, like you now write down Simon's University, and then under it you write courtesan scholarship. You write the requirements for courtesan scholarship. I'm sure like courtesan scholarship requires an essay. So you write that you need an essay, you need to be like kind of someone who has leadership skills, and then you need to like write the deadlines for that school. So basically you're kind of like keeping track of the schools you're planning on applying to, the scholarships that you think you are going to get from that school, and basically how you're going to fund that school. Because if you get the content scholarship, then that's good. You can add that to your list of schools. If you get a need blind school, that's good. If you get another university that offers like for example the presidential scholarship, most of the colleges offer presidential scholarship. But when I say college, a college is not like I know in Kenya we say a college is like you are not able to go to university, so you're going to a college. Here, a college is basically a small community. It's not like as big as a university. So it's the same level as a university. It's just that it does not accept as many students as the university. So that's the only difference. And most colleges, like, they have these presidential scholarships, merit-based scholarships. So you can always take advantage of that. Yeah, so and then about this one, look at the school's acceptance rate. Make sure that, or if you're applying to 20 schools, don't let all your 20 schools be like the acceptance rate is like 10 and below or 15 and below. At least have a school that has an acceptance rate of 60% or 50% or 46%. Yeah, because when you look at this acceptance rate, they're comparing it to the the whole application pool. They're not looking at like international application pool. So you also have to know that when it comes to also international, the acceptance rate gets even lower. Yeah, and then so once you have that list of the schools you're going to apply to, then you will go back to your common app account. There's this part that says college search. You click on that college search, you type in the schools that you want you're applying to, and then you add, and then those schools will be added on your my college list. So yeah, that's kind of the whole process, but that's basically the whole process summarized. But inside, once you have like your schools in here, once you have the schools, you have to remember that you will need now the recommendation letters. Let's say you said you volunteered in a hospital, they will need a recommendation letter from that hospital. Let's say you said you are a youth leader at your church, they'll need a recommendation letter from your church. They will, and then they're like compulsory recommendation letters from your school, 3 recommendation letters from your school, your class teacher, your English teacher, and your maths teacher, or your guiding and counseling teachers, your science teacher, and your humanities teacher. Yeah, I think that's basically it. And then you wait for them to give you a feedback. So the application cycle will open in August, but I will advise, if you're planning on applying to this, create an account on time, fill up this profile on time, so that when and have this essay ready, so that when the application cycle opens, you're just like filling in the colleges. Yep. Yeah, I think I'm good. I'm done. If you have any questions, you can ask. So I'm just saying it's a long process. It requires a lot, but yeah, it's definitely worth it.